So guys, we've been able to run through the first test case, but apparently we have also been able to achieve the second one. Scan scheduling creates, as you can see, to create a schedule scan with a scan site. So we're able to create a schedule scan, right? So thirdly, we've also been able to do the third one, create a blackout window within a scan site. But I would also want to discuss that there are two ways to create a blackout window, right? Okay, so before we go on to that, let's check on the fourth task, customizable scan profiles for efficiency. So the task is to customize and run a scan profile to evaluate how the performance of the scan can be adjusted, right? So customize and run a scan profile. So those are things. So let's go down to our, okay, so this is what I want to point out, guys. There are two ways to, under blackout window, we can create site level or global level. So what we did on our tags when creating the site was a site level, but we can also create a global level blackout. You know, what that means is that irrespective of the scan site, once that duration period reaches or within that particular time, the scan will not run. That's what it means. So this is a step we followed for creating a site level. So now this is what we did. So also this is how we can create a global level blackout. So we have to do that from the administration page, we go to the administration page, then we, under the scan options, then go to global blackout and select manage, or create, and select create. This is what we do. So I'm not going to create one. Let's see if I have time. Create one. So guys, our scan is still running. All right. So let's just leave that. Then, so to create a global blackout, go on to administrations. Go into administrations, then you'll be able to see. So it's still coming up. I think the resources on the scan. Really taking a lot of resources during scan period. Okay, so why that is coming up? Okay, so that's how we achieve the global blackout. So, from this, like we did for the site level, click on the create blackout and we define the duration where we don't want the scan to run, So for the customized scan profile for efficiency, right? So what we do here is we can that is what we also discussed, right, from our previous session that we talked about creating a new custom scan template. We're able to take some time to look at that, from the administrative page. Like I said, you can do that from the administrative page. I will show you guys on how to do this. We click on the create link for the scan template. Then we'll browse scan templates, we can either copy, we can, copy and edit the inbuilt one, or we can create one from scratch. So that's what we can do. Then we can also select the features that we want to see based on business requirement. So, that's how we create a scan template. So if you remember, we went through this section when creating the scan template, asset discovery, vulnerabilities, website risk, so the policy. So if you want to create a policy, so these are the various options. If you want to create a custom scan template for policy or asset discovery alone, so we just select each of these options. So, okay, our admin page is up, guys. So what we do is so first of all, to create a blackout, a global level blackout. This is where we come under the scan options. Click on blackout. I create. If you want to manage existing one, you click on manage. Right. So this is how we do it. Click on create, manage. So for the templates that we're talking about, to create a custom scan template, you can see still on that scan option, we have template. Then we can create a new scan template, or we can manage an existing one. Right. So discovery options. So this is also we'll come back to this later. So this is where we can integrate our InsightVM with our Active Directory, right? So to discover assets within the Active Directory, click on create, right? And click on create. Let me open this in a new tab and click on create. So if we open it on a new tab, so to help, it's also, yeah. So guys, you can see this is how we define the global templates. Then after creating, you can manage it. You can see, under the manage blackout, this way we can click on an existing blackout configuration that was done and edit it, right? So for the other feature that I talked about, so if I'm going to run through this, how we can integrate our Active Directory with InsightVM to discover for assets. So right here, I'm going to choose Active Directory LDAP, right? Then under the connection name, I can choose AD integration, right? You can see server IP, that's the IP address or the host name of the Active Directory. For mine, it is DC. Mine, it is DC1. DC1, that's the host name of the Active Directory. So we are using LDAP, then you can use putting the username, then also your password. Right. So once this is done, you can also select the base, the particular container in the Active Directory where assets are located, so that it doesn't pull all your assets, right? Or all other resources that's being managed on the Active Directory, right? So you can choose to select a site. So I'm just setting. So these are the various sites we have. So test credentials is very important. Let's check if it's successful. We can see that it is successful, right? So select an asset where we want the discovery asset should be located, right? Then we can see this. So guys, this is how we integrate with, okay, so you can see there's already an existing configuration to this, right? So that's why it's still in safe. So guys, apart from the Active Directory, we can also integrate with our DHCP server. We can integrate with, you can see McAfee AP orchestrator to gather assets, on for example, the McAfee platform, right? You can integrate with Exchange Active, Sync, right? AWS, Asset Sync, then Microsoft Azure, VMware, vSphere, Office 365 to pull asset. So that is what we do under that integration. So I'm just going to cancel this. I see, so these are what we have under the discovery options. So I'm just going to close this now. So guys, so for these tags, that's for test case 4. We've gone through these, so I'm just going to show you guys once again. Under the administration tab, here we are here. You come under the scan options, you can see templates. So I can just click on this, create new template. You can manage existing one, right? You can see it's coming up. Then if we go on to see the next test case that we have, which is number 5, dynamic assets and grouping. We've also gone through this, but I'm going to show you guys. Create a dynamic asset group for an operating system of interest. Also apply an ownership tag to it. So how go about this? So several ways you can do this, guys. You can see from this part, the administration tab. You can come here, you can see asset group, create a dynamic asset group, or you can create static. You can also come here to see asset group to create. So I'm just going to open this as a new link. So you can see scan template, guys. This is how we create a custom scan template or a policy-based scan template. So if you want to create a policy-based scan template, I'm just going to, so the assets discovery must be selected. This is optional, right? This is also optional, right? So then policy, you can see under the policy, then you can see the policy managers. You can see select policies that we want to see. And select, these are all policies that I want to pick up, right? So we want to send ARP ping, we want to send ICMP to, just in case ICMP is not blocked. Want to scan well-known ports, and also these are additional ports, right? That would see, we can also want to UDP scan well-known ports. I think we also have an mmap option, mmap service scan, right? So Oracle policies, so these are various policies, window group policies. You can specify these details, the next policies and the likes. So guys, then once you're able to specify, then you can click save, because I've not named them, so I can just say Jovo policy scan, right? So enable credentials, enable window services, right? So these is just basic settings. Then you can scan. You can see, so that's how we create a policies custom scan templates, guys. So also this is going to show us so we are working on this test case 5, create a dynamic asset group and for an operating system, right? And also apply tags. So we're going to create a dynamic asset group. This is what we are doing. So to create dynamic asset group, the first thing is to define your search your asset search. So for operating system, so I'm just going to choose OS as contains, let me say Windows, you understand? Then I'm going to do a search. You can see we can do search for all or any. So you can see, and so these are the list of assets that contains or operating system. Windows works, right? From the disk on so all the list of assets on my network, right? Right. So we can create an asset group, right? See dynamics, so we can see window assets. Asset, right? So select dynamic here. We can also define our descriptions. Then look at tagging. We are also told to apply ownership tag. So ownership, this we have custom tag, location, ownership tag. So we're just going to click here and come to ownership. So we can see ownership tag. I think I have some other users. Let's see. See ownership tag announcing, right? Ownership tag. So assign an ownership tag to it. You can remove the ownership tag from it. You can see. So that's how we assign ownership tag. You can see admin. You can see it's assigned to it. Then you can click on save. So this is how we achieve test case, dynamic asset grouping and tagging. So prioritize remediation reporting. So we'll go on to, this is test case. This is test case. Generate a top remediation report on a scan data. So let's go, first of all, let's go and check that our scan data. You can see we've been able to create dynamic asset scan. So guys, let's go and check on our asset. So this is what we're going to do. So on the asset, so guys, okay, so this just shows that, okay, license usage. So ideally the trial version is only allows 5.2. I said only 8 has been used. You can see I still have enough, guys. Okay, so last scan, you can see this is last scan. Today is Saturday, right? Last scan was discovered today, Saturday. Yeah. So these assets were discovered today. So, right. So this one I'm going to do, scroll down. Okay, operating system. So this under assets. So let's go back to dashboard. Should be home. Sorry, home. So that I will be able to see the status of the active scan. So don't forget our next task is towards number 6, we're generating top remediation reports. So alongside, I'm just going, you can see the report tab, we can click on it here. So once we click on the report tab, Okay, guys, so on the home page, you can see let's see, try and scroll through. Yeah. So guys, you can see once we click on the report tab, this is where we can come on to create report. This is where we can view reports and manage report template. So you can see we have various report templates. So you want to create a report, you can say like the task says we should create from the top remediation report. So I'm just going top remediation report. No. Report, I think this name. Yeah. So let's say top remediation test report. Right. So we can choose a template. So we have several templates, guys. You can scroll to see the different templates that we have. So remediation, this remediation plan, then we can see, top assets by vulnerability risks, top policy remediation. Then we have top remediation. So I'm going to click top remediation with details. You can select these, then scroll down to pick up the file format you want it, for example, in PDF or in HTML. Then you can select this, the sites. I want to select all my site, right? All my sites. I want to select all my sites, or let's say specific sites, so that I want to just select the new sites that I just created. You can see assets discovered was this vulnerability discovered. Then I'm just going to see done. Right after doing this, then you can do not run a recurring report or run a recurring report after every scan. You can see you can choose this, run a recurring report on schedule. So let's say after every scan. So save, that is, you can see this is a report that I just created, top remediation report, test report I created, is currently running, right? So guys, that's how we can create a report. Then I think the next task would be towards, sorry, that's number risk scoreboard reporting. Yeah, let us show us how to create a risk scoreboard report too. The same thing, you can see risk scoreboard, score test report, right? Then we can, so the only difference here is that you're going to pick a template that is related to risk scoreboard. So you can scroll through, or you can filter, as you can see, that's risk scoreboard report. Select it, select the file format, you can leave as PDF, you can select the site, their site, right? Then after selecting the site, next thing we're going to do is also define, do not run a recurring report. Okay. Then we can just save this, right? So that's how that's how to create report, guys. So this is the status on the dashboard of our scan that we just ran. You can see, guys. So you can see sites that we created. You can see scan finished at this. The scan finished discovered six assets, right? 6 assets was discovered during the scan. So we can go on to check vulnerabilities that were discovered during the scan too by clicking on the assets. Once we click, for example, we can click on the assets. Okay, guys. So on the next session, we'll continue with task 8. So generate a remediation plan report, just the same way we generated this risk scorecard report. Can generate a remediation plan report, risk-based prioritization, evaluates the vulnerability. That is what we are currently doing now. After the scan was done, we want to evaluate the vulnerability. We will do this by clicking on the vulnerability tab. So guys, basically that is it for this session. Thank you.